You ready? 2 words. Evil Hogwarts. We'll call it Dweomercore. It's like Hogwarts, except it's underground. Everyone likes Harry Potter, right? And here's the kicker. It's nothing like Hogwarts because everyone is in Slytherin. That's right, everyone in this school is evil, the students are trying to kill each other, and the faculty don't care. But it's okay, because there's only like 6 students in the entire school anyway, and there's only actually 2 members of staff as well. One of whom, and get this, is actually Alistair Blackcloak himself in disguise. Now I know what you're thinking. How does the party get in on the action here? Well, that's the beautiful thing. They just do. Entrance exams, tuition fees, letters of recommendation, prior academic credit. Pfft. In this school, this evil school where everyone is trying to kill each other all the time, you just walk in off the street and now you're part of the school for a couple of days. But of course, this is Dungeon of the Mad Mage, so no one is who they claim to be. That 12-year-old boy who has a friendly ogre following him around, he's actually an ancient and powerful wizard with a pet Oni. That little girl that is in one of the rooms just kind of sweeping up cat bones, she's actually a hag in disguise. One of the teachers, no less. And that headmaster, the one that looks like Alistair Blackcloak, he's actually an Arcanoloth. Alright, so joking aside, here's the thing. If you've watched any of my videos, you should know by now that I'm one of those people that kind of needs things to make sense in order for me to be able to enjoy them. Otherwise, more likely than not, I'm just gonna kind of check out and stop enjoying it. Now, I know not everyone plays this way, actually very few people play this way, and you might say to me, oh, you know, it's just a game, don't worry about it, but it's not. It's not just a game, is it? I mean, trust me, I don't need narrative justification to play a game of Monopoly. I need a lot of other sorts of justifications to play a game of Monopoly, but narrative justification is not one of them. But D&D isn't a game, is it? It's a story. It is a narrative group storytelling exercise that has game-like elements in it. If it were a game, then it would be possible to lose or to win D&D. But it's not possible to lose or to win. You just keep on playing until the story is done or until you're bored. That's not a game, it's a story. And you better believe that bad world building and bad storytelling in any story, whether it be a book or a TV show, or in this case, a tabletop role-playing game, it takes me out of the fun. I am an avid reader, I am a lover of fantasy, I adore world building above pretty much anything else. And I just love understanding how different worlds work and how the different things fit together. And I need that. I need to be able to understand what's going on so I know how my character is supposed to fit into and react to it all. How does my character feel about what's going on? How is he going to react to it? It is a role-playing game after all. What role should I be playing if I don't understand how I fit into things? For a good example of what I'm talking about, I will refer you to one of the best floors in the entire campaign so far, level 6, the Lost Levels, because in this level it's a dwarven temple which is being raided by by dwarves, who don't care at all about the ancient civilization that used to live here. They don't care at all about that they are besmirching the names of their ancestors. And Gorn understood this immediately. I understood this, it made sense, it was logical. And so when my character was in that situation, he was able to respond in a realistic and sensible way that worked. And I was able to feel invested in what was happening, and we had a really good session as a result. But the 9th level of Dungeon of the Mad Mage gives you none of this, and as a result, Dweomercore is easily my least favourite floor in the dungeon, behind perhaps only level 7, and the only reason that level 7 was worse was because there was literally nothing to do on that floor other than talk to some NPCs that have lost their memories. And by the way, just in case you're wondering what the rest of my ranking would look like for all the floors that I've done so far, there it is, floor 4 for the win. It's all about that cluboo. Now, before you start saying, yes, I am aware that there's a lot of weird stuff going on in Dungeon of the Mad Mage. It's not called Dungeon of the Logical and Narratively Coherent Mage after all. It is a Mad Mage. I get it. But most of the time, this book does a really good job of retroactively explaining things. So sure, in the moment when you're going through it, you might not understand why is there this Modron randomly patrolling this room? Why is there a forest underground? Why is there a pile of dead hobgoblin bodies made into a barricade? You might not understand this, but later, once you've got all the different pieces and you can kind of fit them together, it makes sense. There's that kind of fridge logic. Dweomercore, I'm very sorry to say, because I know it's a fan favourite level, and I know there are people that in the party that love it, and I don't particularly like doing these kind of complainy videos. I don't think they're particularly fun to do. I'm trying to make them in a fun, jokey way, but yeah, there's a lot of complaining here, I'm sorry. But this is one of the first times in the campaign that just things really did not work, and it's not the DM's fault. The book is just written that way. And without that justification, without that sense, that understanding of what is my motivation in this scene, how did my character feel about all of this? He didn't care. And so I basically spent the entire session just kind of treating it like a joke and not really connecting with it, and almost dying in the process, I might add. In fact, I spent most of the session wild-shaped into a cat, and I did this very much on purpose because when I'm a cat, I can't talk to other people, and that means that other people in the party would therefore be forced to take the lead on deciding where we go. Because like I said, I was checked out, I didn't care, and so I was hoping that someone else who was maybe more invested in what was going on could then take the lead and have fun, because I was aware I'm not going to have fun here. You guys go ahead. But I need to be clear, like I said, the DM himself did a sterling job as always. It's not his fault that this floor is badly written. He led us through the colourful cast of characters. We met a drow student, Elan, who asked us to kill a 12-year-old boy. We then met the 12-year-old boy who asked us to make a distraction with the headmaster so that he could steal something. He was the one, in fact, who told us that the hag was scared of cats, and so Gorn spent most of the session as a cat. And as I said, along the way, Gorn almost died. Basically, first of all, he accidentally blew himself up on a glyph of warding that was protecting one of the doors, and later we found ourselves inside a lecture hall. A lecture hall. Reminder, there are only 6 students in this entire school. There's a bit of missing world building there. Anyway, we found ourselves inside a lecture hall in which there was a blue slard which was tied down to a gurney. The slard attacked us. Gorn spent most of his rounds trying to keep the slard pinned down on the operating table so that the slard was prone, and therefore anyone that attacked him did so with advantage. And in particular, our Battlemaster fighter, who gets 3 attacks per round, he was getting advantage on every attack, and, you know, in the process got 2 nat 20s, and the fight went very smoothly because of it. So that's a good thing. Fight went well. A+, wonderful. Bad thing was that during the process, the slard managed to slash Gorn, and in doing so, infected him with a disease called Chaos Phage. I was rolling so badly this session, sometimes it happens. So Chaos Phage is this horrible disease that basically means I cannot regain hit points, and my hit point maximum is reduced by 3d6 every 24 hours, and when it reaches 0, I will turn into a slard myself. And I survived that combat with 1 HP, not an exaggeration, 1 HP. Survived by the skin of my teeth, but I cannot heal myself back up. But that's what happens when you don't care about what's going on. You almost die. But, you know, the session wasn't a complete wash because we did actually manage to find some cool stuff in the school. We managed to get our hands on that 12-year-old boy's spellbook. And man, what a spellbook it is. It has 2 9th level spells in it, Time Stop and True Polymorph. along with loads of other incredible spells. Honestly, at this point, we would be stupid not to roll up a wizard as a backup character because we are swimming in gold and we have so many powerful spells and spellbooks. It's just insane. It's just a shame that I personally don't like playing wizards. So anyway, that's where we are. For me, it was disappointing, and it's on us. You know, the DM did spend a good chunk of time at the start of the session saying, guys, do you want to go to this school? You don't have to. You can avoid this if you want to. And we said, sure, we'll do it, because in my head, I was expecting something very different to the reality. And I think one of the reasons is because, and I've kind of been thinking, why is it that this session's just really not worked for me, above and beyond everything else? And I think one of the reasons is because there's always a little bit of fudging things and making do when it comes to these worlds of sorcery and magic. I mean, of course there is. You hand wave these things away. None of us live in a world of magic. None of us live in a pseudo-medieval kingdom. Who's to say that this isn't how things would work in such a place? Oh, what's that? No worlds in the medieval times actually had sewers, and yet this world of Dungeons and Dragons is full of sewers? Why even do you have sewers when this world has things like wizards who can just get rid of the poop whenever they want to with a wave of their wand, or you've got oozes that would literally eat it if you wanted it? If you really want to go down that way, there's all sorts of ways you can go. And believe me, in my spare time, I do. But there's a lot of just hand waving away. You're like, I get it, it's shorthand, we're just getting through things. But you know what? I have been to school. Everyone in this game has been to school. We've all seen Harry Potter. We all have in our heads an idea of what a magical school for wizards is supposed to look like. Teachers, students, schedules, tuition fees, exams, we've all lived it, we know it. And so when it's not there, why is it not there? And if there's no why, then I don't care about it. You see what I'm coming from? I mean, it's quite an easy thing to fix as well. I was thinking about this afterwards. Like, the book could easily write it this way, and they just say that the headmaster, rather than being very friendly and open towards the party, just have the headmaster be a little bit more elitist and restrictive about allowing the party to come into his school and study. Have him act a little bit confused when the party appears and be just like, visitors, is it? Oh, I wasn't expecting, perhaps, did you come in regards to the advertisement in the Skullport Chronicles? You're a couple of days early. And of course, that then gives the party an in, and they'd be like, yes, that's why we're here. What advertisement is this? And you could say, well, of course, the school open day. We're allowing prospective students and their families to come in and wander the halls and get a lay of the land prior to enrollment. This is a very exclusive academy here, after all. We're training up the next generation of wizards, godlike beings who will serve as my apprentices. We don't just allow anyone in off the street, you understand. Being accepted into this school is extremely hard, but if you make it in, you will get free tuition, free bed and board, and a lifetime of knowledge that is there for the taking. Now, please go ahead, begin the tour. You're welcome to explore the school as much as you like. Talk to any of the students you come across. Just be careful, some of them are a little bit trigger happy, if you get my meaning. Ha ha ha. An open day. All schools have them. Make it an open day. Make it clear that the party is not going to get into this school, because let's face it now, it's very unlikely that most parties will have everyone in the party having an arcane background. No party is going to stick around for more than a couple of days in this place, so why even pretend that they're enrolling into the school if it's not going to be the case? An open day. You go in, you look around, you get out. That makes sense. That's the sort of thing that I'm talking about when I'm talking about things making narrative sense. Finding a way to justify the party actually being there is fundamental to the party having a good time. Well, for me, having a good time. I can't speak for others. And by setting things up in this way, you're kind of telegraphing to the party and the players at the table what their role is in all of this. You are prospective students. You are here on an open day, but shh, it's a ruse. You're not really here to study, right? Got it? I understand. Really, you're here just to kind of get the lay of the land and steal cool magical stuff, right? That's what you're here for. And this allows you as characters to be invested in and engaged in what is happening, because you then understand the role that you're meant to be playing. Instead, what is the role that we're meant to be playing here? We walk into this school, we immediately become enrolled as students in the school. Gorn is he's not stupid, but he never went to some fancy highfalutin university. He's a gravekeeper. He doesn't have an arcane background. He's a ranger / druid. Why would a wizard school want him to study there? No one in this party has an arcane background. Why would the wizard school want any of us to study there? But just to say it's an open day and you can have a look around, and suddenly the justification is fine. So I can't speak for the others. I think they're enjoying themselves. But for me, I'm kind of ready to move on to somewhere that is explained a little bit better and makes more narrative sense. Until next time.